Okay, it is now recording, so.
Okay, so it looks like what we need to go over in this meeting is what information system basically that we want to do. Does anybody want to start off talking about what their individual project was, if they think that it could potentially be somebody that we interview for the PIR project? Nothing?
I'm gonna pull up mine again. Okay.
So my project was a little, I don't know. I had to hide his name and stuff, but it was office information systems. So can you guys hear me? I don't know if you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So, but I don't know if he'll be able to provide more information on his topic because he doesn't work from one location, so it's really hard to reach him. So I had to do it over phone. But yeah.
For mine, you know, there's like a questions, like, I forgot what it was. It was like what they exactly did. And then she didn't really have like answers for like 5 questions. So I don't know if that's going to be a good thing to do that.
Don't know if he'll have adequate information.
Yeah.
And so my project or my interview subject, I found valuable information from it, but she was a little bit leery about continuing on with the project once they work with like sensitive information. I work at a life insurance company, but if we don't have one, I could try to find someone else within my company that we could do that with. I didn't know what else we would come up with our project, with our other interview.
Right. Okay. The gentleman that I interviewed, the problem, he said that he does not mind if we continue to interview him for the project, but he is located in Virginia, so it would be only
through like email and stuff.
Email and telephone. And he was very open into talking to me about things, but he did IT for the Army. He's a colonel in the Army. And so I don't know if maybe some of the questions we have to ask him if he might not be able to answer.
Okay.
So I did a guy who worked for Best Buy, but he was kind of new to his job. So he never gave me a lot of information. He kind of told me the basics. And when I went I wanted more details on the questions. He just told me that he can't discuss it because of company policy. So he probably might not be a good person to focus on.
And see, that's kind of where I ran into issues too, was company privacy and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, it sounds like that's where most of us have.
Yeah, I know.
Does anybody have anybody else that they think they could potentially interview? If not, the professor did say on my report that the colonel that I talked to might make a good candidate for the project. It will just be a matter of logistics with talking to him, and then.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I'm okay with it. He's very friendly. It's awkward in the way that how we know each other was from like 8 years ago when I lived in Texas. So, I hadn't talked to him in that long, and then I just found him on Facebook and asked if I could interview him. So. But he's very friendly, and I think he would be willing to work with us.
Okay. Well, if you're willing and you think that it would work, because I feel like you might take the brunt of like the interviewing part, unless you want to give us, if he'd be willing to talk with, I mean, I'd be willing to talk with him too, if he would be willing.
Right, I'm sure he would be. I did tell him that this was a group project that we'd be working on, and I asked him if he would be willing to work with us. So I'm assuming, since he knows it's a group project, that he would be willing to talk to other people besides myself.
Okay.
So, I'll just have to talk to him and ask him and make sure it's okay for me to send out his email, and move forward with everything.
Okay.
Okay, does anybody, if I will email him or call him tomorrow and ask him if he's okay with continuing on with this project with us.
That'd be great.
And if not, does anybody have maybe a backup plan with somebody they think they could possibly talk to?
I could possibly talk to someone at work, so maybe in a different area. So we could definitely explore that option if needed.
Okay. That sounds good. I don't know anybody else. Let's see. So we'll potentially work on on the project with him. What he did. See, I got my paper here. He does IT. He's a colonel in the Army. He's been in the Army for about 26 years. He is no longer, I forgot to mention this. He does no longer in the Army. He just retired. So he's actually working for another company, but he will have to talk to us about things that he implemented while in the Army. But he said that he still is very friendly with everybody. So he shouldn't have any problems giving us the information that we need. And he talked about how he set up the command calendar for the 4-star command. So I guess they just set up a new calendar system.
Okay.
So I don't know if that will be enough for us to talk about. Honestly, I don't understand a lot of the stuff that is in the paper. I kind of glaze over a little bit.
Yeah. And I suppose that's what we're here to learn about it.
Right.
In this class. That's what I hope anyway.
Okay. See, I guess the next things we need to decide is, all right, if we want to, well, first of all, okay, we decided that I would be team captain, if that's okay with everybody, and you'll be the facilitator, but Victoria, Lath, and Mohammed, you all chose different things. Do we want to decide what?
Yeah, I could be the lead researcher.
Okay. Is that okay with everybody?
Yep.
All right, and so what's left is the liaisons, the professor, and the editor.
I'll do the instructor's liaison.
Okay. Are you okay doing the researching, Mohammed?
Yeah, I could do the research. I'll probably do it ahead of time, and if I need help, and I'll try and get help, but I can probably focus on the research.
Okay, anything extra that needs to be done?
Yeah.
As far as researching?
And then did we need someone to be like editor? Or did you already say that, Victoria? Which one did we?
I think I said researcher.
Oh, you said researcher.
Yeah,
I apologize. Sorry. Okay, so are you good with being the editor? Sorry, Mohammed.
Probably, just to be honest, I'm not good at editing. I might make more mistakes. I was probably focusing on that on the
I'm also fine. I know I was the facilitator for this meeting, but I'm also fine doing the editing if someone wants to do the facilitating of this. I think we have 2 other meetings.
I could do that and email everyone and see what time we could go.
Okay.
And I could also do the research if you guys need help.
Right. The facilitator sets up and hosts the Zoom meeting. So you have to go and set up the time and then send everybody the link for doing
the ID.
Yeah, and then you have to email the what is it? The
Record it and then
Yeah,
email.
you record it and then you email the link to the professor.
Yeah.
So would you like to do that for the next one and then have Cara do the editing?
Yeah, I could do that if she's okay with it.
That sounds
Okay.
fine.
Sounds good. Okay. Sorry, I got confused a minute ago.
It's okay, it's late.
Yeah, usually I'm in bed at 9. So,
So am
I. Okay, so we need to come up with, as far as the team project proposal goes, who will be in charge of which questions.
Okay.
And we need to come up with a time for the next meeting that we're all willing to meet.
When's the next meeting? Do you know like what time exactly, or what like day, or what week? I mean,
I just looked.
Have it saved. Or
here, I'll look. It's right on the syllabus. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, our project proposal itself is due on the 6th of October. I'm not sure if we have to meet again before that, but it would probably be a good idea just to make sure that.
Do we want to meet like this, or do we want to do like email?
Yeah, email would probably be more convenient for everybody.
And maybe with a little more advanced notice, we could find a schedule that works better.
Right. That's what we do have to have a team meeting like this
by the 13th, by Sunday the 13th. And then yeah.
Oh yeah, the progress meeting. Yep.
Yeah, this what is the
so maybe I don't know if maybe it would work if Muhammad, you take, like, you email us all and we maybe give you our schedule.
Yeah.
Rather than knowing right now, unless everyone knows what their schedule is right now.
Yeah, I was looking at the discussion, like we were looking at it, the discussion, and probably everyone has a different schedule. So I'll look into it and see like which date works for everyone. It's probably gonna be on Monday to Wednesday. I'm guessing like probably Monday to Wednesday. So I'll look into it and email you guys on Monday or Tuesday of next week.
Do you want us to then provide you with our availability?
Yeah, I believe you guys already posted it on the email.
I think we were missing Cara and Victoria's for Mondays and Wednesdays, but that if your schedule changes, then obviously that
right. And mine, does everyone's schedule change a lot, or do they kind of have a set schedule?
Mine changes.
Okay.
Yeah,
do you want to
go ahead? So probably like on the every week, probably before the assignment is due, a week or 2 weeks before it, I'll email you. I'll email you a day, and you guys can agree on if we can meet that time, or we can probably choose like this time. Probably 10 p.m. won't work almost every day because sometimes we have to work on the assignments. So Mondays or Tuesdays, but I'll look into it.
How far in advance do you typically know your schedule, Victorious or Mohammed, since y'all's schedule changes, both of you?
No, my schedule doesn't mostly change on like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I work. Thursday I have a class around 1:20 to 4 p.m. Then I'll reach home around 7. Then I am free from 7 till onwards. So Monday to Wednesday, I'm free all the day. And I'm also at the student center, so I'm over there from 10 a.m. until 12. So I'm probably free on those 3 days.
Victoria, is there like do you know how long is it before you know what your schedule is going to be? Like a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance?
Yeah, like a week, sometimes 2.
Okay, so how about if we check in, Mohammed, the first week of October and see if everybody has their schedule then. Does that work?
Yep, first week of October.
Sounds good. And my schedule doesn't change, but I'll provide my availability when we talk that week.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Okay. So we'll meet again for the project proposal before then.
For the
or not the
13th.
project, for the AA number 5.
So when the project proposal is due
On the 6th of
on the
October.
6th. Okay.
Yes. And then it says in the project proposal that if we turn it in 48 hours before it's due, then he will submit it back for with feedback, and then we can redo it to get a better grade. So we probably would want it turned in at least by Thursday the 3rd.
Okay. That sounds good to me. I always like getting things done early.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
So yes, so maybe plan on having, that sounds good.
Okay, so should we have everybody's parts turned in on the paper just for us to do final editing? Do you think Tuesday the 1st, or is that too soon?
I think that's good for me. That's 2 weeks. That's almost 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm looking at my calendar. Does that work for everyone else?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So I guess we just have to go over, I don't know if any of you guys have the, what is it? The outline that we need to do, the proposal, but if we can look over that and then really quickly and determine who will be in charge of what, and then we know, what we need to try to take care of. And then if we have any questions or need any help from anybody, then we can just email or ask on the discussion or.
Let me pull it up quick. So it looks like a lot of this information will need to start by gathering from the interview.
Yes.
So once we've figured out that.
The first thing we have to do is to make sure that we can interview Michael Faison. And but once we get that going, then we'll have to start doing the research. There are 4 parts to this, and there's 5 of us. I think the first part has more to it. It has 1.1 through a 1.11, and the other ones have basically, it looks like about 5 points. So maybe we split the first one between 2 people, and then everybody else gets the other ones, and then we can help as needed.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
How do you guys want to divide the parts? Does that really matter?
Well, I guess I could take the first part, whatever. If you want to cut that in half.
Okay.
Is that the target of study?
The target of study.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that's the target of study.
I guess I can take the second half of that. I don't have a preference, but I can take that one if choosing, I guess.
Yep. Okay, so.
I can do data sources. Or.
You do data sources?
Yeah. Or, yeah, I don't really mind.
Okay. Do you have a preference for what you want to do? Mohammed?
Probably do the significant of targeting, number 2.
Okay, so the number, say 1 through 6 will be Victoria. Okay.
Yep.
1 through 1.6, and then Cara will have 1.7 through 1.11. Mohammed will have significance of target, with Lath being data sources. Is that correct? And I will do the project plan.
Sounds good. Do we know if, has anyone seen anywhere or remember how, so like say I do the final editing, then do I submit it for everyone? Does anyone remember seeing that, or should
I did not see that anywhere. That is actually something that it says on that we need to discuss, is who will, as far as the team project proposal goes and how it will be organized and who will do what. We have to decide who will edit it, who will do a final review, who will submit each assignment. And then towards the end, when we have to make the final presentation movie, we have to decide who's going to narrow it and who's going to put the movie itself together.
Okay. I guess as doing like the final edits, I can plan on submitting the different parts for each part of the project. Does that work?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I'll just plan on doing that, and unless you guys hear otherwise, you'll just know that I can even let you know once I've submitted the stuff.
Okay. To be easier, would be better if somebody set up a Word and shared it, and then we could just all start putting all of our stuff on the same Word file.
You mean like a Google Word? Or
Google Docs?
Or is that different? Or were you thinking of something else?
No, somebody in my last project last semester, she just did a Word document and then she shared it. I think there's a box that you click share, and then
in D2L.
Yeah, I think you can do it in it shared it through, I think it was OneDrive.
Oh, okay.
So you share it, I believe you like click share, and then you have OneDrive, which we have through the school, and then everybody can click on the link and make edits as needed. And then we can all see what everybody's working on at the same time.
Okay. Would you mind starting that, just because, do you know exactly where it is? Otherwise I can
I have never done it before, but I am willing to try. Just if I do
I've done
wrong,
it on Google Docs. I've never done it on Word.
Okay,
so
I don't know what Google Box is.
Google Docs.
Oh, Google Docs. Sorry.
I do think I know what you're talking about, but I don't. I'd have to look into it as well.
Okay. Well, I will do some research. Yeah, it won't be tomorrow, but probably this weekend.
Okay.
And then just let me know. I'll send it to you guys, and then just let me know if you can open it or not.
Okay.
Okay.
I can do that. I've been doing it for my other classes. So if you don't figure it out, just let me know. I'll just make a Word document and then share it with you using your school email. And then you guys can tell if you guys have access to it.
Okay, so you know how to do that?
Yep, just open a new Word and then share it with you guys.
Okay, well, do you want to do that then? Or do you want me to try to figure it out first?
I probably can do it if you don't mind.
I'm sorry?
I can do it. I have a Word document. I know how to share it.
I'm sorry, I was having a hard time hearing you. You said you could do it, or?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. So you want to try to do that well, you work on the weekends too, don't you?
Yeah. Do you want me to try it now and see if it works and you guys can open it with your email? Or I can do it after the presentation, after the conference, and then you guys just can send email back and say you guys can open it. or I can do it on Monday, whichever one works. I'll just do it today, tonight, or on Monday, and then I'll send you email on Monday, and then you guys can respond if you guys get the empty word.
Okay, well, we'll just see if we get it on Monday for me. That's fine. Okay, and okay, so we decided how we're gonna organize, who's gonna do what on the proposal. I will edit. Okay, so now we have to decide that the final PIR project assignment is the presentation movie, and then so we need somebody to put together the final presentation movie, and then we need at least 2 or no more than 1 or 2 narrators to present the movie.
Do we want to decide that now? Are we supposed to decide that now?
It says that on part 2 out of the.
Okay. You're probably right. I'm just trying to look to see where.
Yeah, it's under B, part 2
okay.
B.
Got it.
Like the last thing on there.
Got it. Okay. I feel like I need to look.
I know I don't know much about the whole presentation.
I know, so I feel like it's hard to decide that right now as I'm like.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if it's going to be another slide like we had to do for the presentation, or if it's going to actually have to be.
I think that it might be just from some comment or something that I read when we did our meet and greet things. That was like prepping you. So I don't know if we want to like split up the slides, and we can at least.
I think we can figure that out.
That's what I was wondering. Do we want to maybe just talk about that more at our next?
I think
we'll have more content.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. And I think that it probably is a good idea to split it up in between everybody, because I imagine it's going to be quite a big slide.
Yeah.
This whole
it's
looks like it's going to be pretty big.
1 to 13 slides.
Yeah.
And I am fine like doing the audio if, and we can discuss that. I think
right.
To be willing to help with everything. So maybe we'll just put that on like the agenda or something to talk about at our the meeting
the next
3 weeks or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. It does say we have to have a mutually agreed upon time for the next meeting, but I think we're mutually agreed that we will
we'll just
talk about this.
The
first week of October, preferably the beginning of the week.
Right, and
October.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably beginning of October.
Yes.
So, I think. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Victoria had mentioned that she thought that maybe these Zoom meetings were only 40 minutes.
Yeah. I've read that on the profiles.
I know, which I was confused.
Like when you create an account?
Yeah, because he like suggested we use this. So.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it says on here that. Do you want to try to use something else next time?
Yeah, they said something about Adobe, but Connect maybe. But anyway, I was just thinking maybe we could try to just have it around 40 minutes. I assume if we've covered everything.
That sounds good. The last thing that we have to do is the stand-up summary, which I think that is what the professor is just going to look at to make sure that we've done everything. Each of us have to do a verbal summary about our understanding of our team role, what we're going to do next, regarding the target of study, or basically what our responsibilities are, everything that our next steps that we know we're going to do. So each of us have to say what we are going to be responsible for, and then I think we can in the meeting if everybody's okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Okay. I guess I'll start. I know that I will be team captain, so I will lead the meetings and make sure that everybody is communicating how we're supposed to. I am going to contact the person that I did for my information or my individual project and make sure that he is okay with us doing a group project. And then I will get back to you guys this weekend, Monday by the latest, to let you know his response on that. And if not, then we will have to look elsewhere. I know that I will do the fourth step in the project proposal. And I think that is all that I have to cover.
Sounds good.
Okay. Laith, would you like to go next?
Yep. So
Okay.
I'm the liaison to the instructor for this part. So I'll send her when like the assignments is done. If you guys have any questions, like if we do that in discussion, I can just email her the questions. I'll also tell her or tell you guys what she says. And for the proposal, I have the third part, which is the data sources.
Okay.
So I'm responsible for team facilitator. So I'll set up the meeting Zoom and I'll share it with all the team members. And I'll also try and see before I even share with the team, I'll see when you guys are available, and I'll email you guys link, and I'll record it next Zoom meeting. I'll record it and send it to the instructor. And for the team, for the first project, team project proposal, I'm responsible for the second part, significance of targeting. And then I'll also create the Word document and share it with you guys. Then you guys respond and tell me if you guys can open it or not.
And then I am the lead researcher, so I will research any additional information that we're maybe lacking in certain contexts, and then I'll add on to different fields wherever I find it when editing through everything. And then for the proposal project, I am doing the first half of part 1, right after we get more information about who we're going to be doing the project on.
Sounds good. And okay, I believe we decided that our final edit would be turned in on Tuesday the 1st.
Wait,
sorry, I was trying to interrupt you, Cara.
That's okay. I'll just quickly summarize what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the lead editor, and for this Zoom meeting, I will submit it to the professor. And I will also submit the other sections of the PIR report for everyone. And then for the first project proposal, I will be doing the target of study sections 1.7 through 111.
Sounds good. Okay, well, thank you guys. Sorry I interrupted you.
Okay.
Great. Does anybody have anything else they want to say before we leave? Nothing?
Good. I'm good.
I guess I have one question. Do people prefer communicating through email or through discussion posts on D2L? Is there a preference?
I think email.
Email.
Probably email. I think I check that more than the discussions.
Same.
Okay, and I kind of
like late
that, but I just wanted to make sure. That's okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes also on the discussion, she just wants us, like for this assignment, it has 2 parts. So the first part, she also wants us to include on the discussion.
So we did that, right? The introduction and stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
I believe so.
Yeah, we all did that part.
Yeah,
so if it says something that we have to do on the discussion, then of course we'll go to the discussion. And maybe sometimes we should write something on the discussion just so that they can see that we're doing and actually communicating with each other.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep.
So, okay. That was my only question.
Okay, well, I guess we will touch base again. I'll let you guys know soon, and then we can go from there.
Sounds good. And I'm going to submit this video probably tomorrow. So.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Sounds good. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.